Hey guys, happy 4th weekend. Hope you guys had a good weekend. It's roasting out here, but I haven't posted a video for a couple days, so I want to try to nap this little, I believe this is Horse Creek. Beautiful stone, just a nice little flake. Probably end up losing this piece down here unless I do like a willow blade and then keep that length, but more than likely it's just going to be that. But let's get into it. A little bit of a square edge there, but oh, let me put on my other glasses. Damn, it's not releasing. Try to zigzag it real quick. Alright, we're starting to get a working edge almost. Alrighty, so there's a nice working edge, pretty straight. Let's try to get this slight edge off, same thing, and then man, that might make a nice little point after all. Just give it a little zigzaggy. Now I got a working edge around there. probably just gonna end up wiping that. That way I can keep that nice width. Lose a little bit of length, but I'll get a nicer point. All right. So now I'm gonna raise this edge up and shoot flakes across this side. Just flake straight down to raise the edge. Trying to shoot flakes across yet. Really not too shabby. A little grinder. Ooh, this is chewed up from last time. Let me fix that. I can already tell that's a little bit of a problem. Got a little bit better looking edge there. Let her rip, tater chip. Nice little flake. It's funny, the first flakes don't usually go too far because you have to remove a flake to make a ridge to try to make the next one go farther. So then usually after that they start going a little bit better after the next couple of passes. See, like, there's a really good flake. There's a really good flake. That one went to there. A little bit of a thick edge there. Okay, so it totally changes the way that looks just after a couple flakes there. Now I have a nice pattern there. This is some chunky stuff, so I'm going to raise this edge and really try to get all that junky stuff off. And I can afford to lose this because it dips in anyway, so let's raise this edge. You know what I'm going to do is use my other flaker that I'm not currently using just to raise the edge so I don't wear out the tip when I do the actual pressure flaking. So that's a good idea. I'm going to start using two. One to reduce and one to actually do the flaking. So I can keep that antler in a little bit better condition. Because this raw rock, it eats the horn pretty good compared to like obsidian and stuff. Alright, let's grinder. Probably be no percussion on this one because the flake is so darn nice, but the back is real thick, so I'll probably end up using some percussion here, but probably shouldn't wait too long either to reduce that down because that's pretty thick and then it's kind of thin in the middle, so I do have to be careful. I think I'll do this pass and then I'll focus on that. Just looking at spots below center line. That was a crunchy area. That was better. Ooh, that was a nice flake. That thing went all the way into there. Now I have a ridge. Next one went almost just as far to there. a little easier to flake than that Georgetown I've been working on. That's pretty nice, Beavis. Alright, so I think I'm going to hold off flaking any across this side until I work on this base. I don't want to risk snapping it on the percussion part, but man, it's all square edge there, man. It's nasty. So let's see. I wonder if I can, once I get it started, I might be able to pressure flake zigzag instead of risk, but I do have to get into it. So got into it, so I made a working edge there instead of flat, so then now I have a spot to get into it. All I'm trying to do is get a working edge so that I can maybe take a couple strikes on it. Where did I do that? Oh, right here. It's going. Okay, so all that. Okay, do the same thing here, zigzag this, and then try to get into this. This is going to be the hardest spot, that little center bulb right there. Might as well start knocking this corner off too, because that's got to go. Sets it over there. That looks so cool once you start getting a pattern on there. Just one set of flicks across there. Start getting a neat little pattern. It feels hotter now at 108, 110 than when it was 117, because now the humidity's here. We just had rain recently, so the monsoon season's here. So this is when July and August gets real nasty here. Yep, I knew that little nodule was going to be tough. Alright, so I'm going to attempt now that I got a nice little platform right here, just take a thinning flake into it. Oh, where's my other? This is gonna be sweet. The flake broke, but man, look at that thinning flake. That is what I'm talking about. Nice little basil thinning flake. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Gonna do a lighter one here. I don't want to risk breaking it, but now I got that nice ridge. There we go. Here we go. Ooh. It's really cool with this angled antler instead of the round bulb I was using. I'm getting flakes which remind me more of indirect, where it's striking the edge and taking it off. Instead of a more bulb of percussion, it's a smaller bulb of percussion, but then a really nice long flake. So I'm really liking this. I need to get a bigger one. It's just too short, but it sure works good. Okay, so now I have these high spots right here because this thinned in the middle and kind of left that. So I'm going to raise this edge and pressure flake into that and get this high spot off. So I'm just going to raise the edge a little bit. Sure. Excuse me for 1 second. Gotta have that Gatorade here in Arizona. Whew. Oh man, that was a flake. Very nice. There's another nice flake right next to it. Just keep them rolling. Another super nice flake right next to that. Even longer flake. Another good one. Another good one. And in that one pass, it took down that entire high spot, down that entire edge. Very, very nice. Okay, let's do the same thing here. Again, use my other flaker so I don't wear it down. The tip of this into the red is way more chalky, so I'm gonna have to be extremely careful not to snap that tip off, because it's a different material. It's like not glossy at all like down here. If I keep it, that transition of color is just going to be phenomenal, so I really want to be careful with that. I'll mess with that in a little while. With this better quality of stone, I didn't have to do very much indirect percussion on a flake at all. It's almost all pressure flake. I think that's really cool for a change. That's kind of how it is with the obsidian too. I can almost pressure flake the whole thing off of a flake, but obviously I had to thin the base with percussion. But yeah. Ooh. Again, once you have nice convexity, every time you take a flake it makes a ridge, and then the next one's going to run off of the next ridge, so just space them over to where it can follow the ridge of the last flake. That took me a while to learn. I don't know why I didn't figure that out earlier. It's a continuous platform. A little bit of a crunchy one there. That was weird. Ooh, it's flipping. Oh, what's up with that? There's a flake right there. And again, that entire side is just totally cleaned up. Super nice. Okay, I got a high spot down here. The only bummer about those nice thinning flakes is sometimes they do the job and they thin it, but then they kind of hinge out a little bit, and then you got kind of this later in the point stage, you got kind of this ridge, so I'll have to try to take a pressure flake across into that dip. But it's better to be thinner than not, man. Otherwise just it looks horrible, all thick on the base or no chance in hell of notching it. So I'd rather have that than not. There we go. That whole nasty ridge is gone. That whole thing is gone. Okay. Let's do just that. Try to get some flakes in and maybe take a tiny bit of that ridge off. Man, I am sweating up a storm, man. Holy cow. Oh yeah, I just took a little bit of that ridge off right there. Good. That helped a lot. Okay. This is high now a little bit, so that side's pretty damn good. There's one low spot here. Low spot here. She's coming along. Ooh, that was a nice flake from there to there. Kind of a weird bad spot. Oh yes, that got into that nasty stuff in the middle again. Yeah, I don't want to lose too much width on this thing. Just gonna do a tiny bit more on this side and call it a day. There we go, I fixed that tip. Ooh, look at that sucker. From there to there, man. That was a nice one. There we go. Go. That one broke a tiny bit on the edge. I had a little bit of a collapse there, but I can fix it. Glad I was able to keep that dark red. Oh, I do that every time. So lucky that didn't break. I don't know why I do that every single time I nap. Nothing. There's a flaky. Oh, that's a crunchy spot right there. Not flaking at all. Gotta be real careful there. And I'm burning up out here, man. This is brutal. I got that one high spot right there. Got through it. There we go. Something doesn't look right here. I pushed the tip into the pad and I broke it off. I knew it. I knew that tip was that different material. I mean, luckily I just barely lost a little bit of it, but yeah, I gotta build one of those dome pads. That's all there is to it. You know, I tried it with a rock and it worked pretty good, but it was beveling too much, so I need a stone like this, but just thinner, to put under here just to give it a little bit of convexity in there, but to keep the point from bending in on the wings or on the tip like that. But for now, let's keep it going. Man, that side's so nice. got most of that tip back just with that one little move there. Alright, I'm just going to leave that tip so I don't break it off again. Here's a little peeler. Peel it like a banana. That was a dangerous peeler, but I needed it. Alright, it's really coming along. Grind. Couple little high spots. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the center of that red island. There's that tiny little bit of cortex that's still on the outside. But that's okay, man. It gives it some character. Okay, maybe one or two more flakes there and then call it a day. Ooh, doggies. I got a little bit farther into that mess. A little bit more. Oh, I got it. That flake ran up into that and I got the whole bottom half of it. That really is surprising. But there's like a hinge right there, so I'm going to have to be super careful. Run one down at an angle. Instead of straight in, I'm going to try to run one in at an angle this way. See what happens. Oh yeah, that was a beautiful flake. That thing ran really well. That one crunched a little bit. Oh man, I got most of that mess off though. That's really cool. Crunchy a little bit. It's so weird how the good quality of stone is down here and then the red is not, and it doesn't flake very good, but it sure gives a nice contrast to the point. Alright, one more shot. Getting smaller and smaller. Got to be careful here. Grind the piss out of that so it doesn't collapse. Ooh, I got it. Ran one in. Ooh, ran another one in. Now I got all these really long, nice flakes on this side, and this side's a little crunchy, but I don't know, man. I think I'm just gonna have to, might have to call that one. Man, this is a beautiful stone. Wish I had access to this stuff. Alright, just that little trick, I got rid of a lot of that crunchy, so. Ooh. And I ran it into that high spot and it stopped right at it, but for the most part that's gone. I'm really happy with that. I'm not going to be greedy, man. This thing's just getting smaller and smaller, so it's a pretty nice pressure flake. That's pretty damn nice. I see one more flake opportunity here. That was good. Okay, let's work on the base. Okay, the base has issues. It's off on that side. Now the tip's a little bit crooked too when I broke it. Ooh, that was scary. That was scary. You can just sweat just from having my arm on there, man. Just sweating up a storm. That really needs to come in. We're getting there. Alright. There we go. Okay, I gotta work just to thin a tiny bit right here where I'm gonna put the wings in because it's fat right here. So all I'm gonna do is a couple little flakes on the side and call it a day, fix that tip, and then put the notches in. But I know I'm gonna have trouble notching it if I don't thin this a tiny bit, so I have no choice. At least I don't have to lose too much width, just a little bit. Beautiful flake. Oh man, I thinned that corner down nice. That'll really make a nice notch now. Hopefully I didn't get it too thin. Alright, same thing on this side, and it's time for notching. little scary. That edge is pretty thin, but all I need to do is get like 2 good flakes into those corners, and then that way when I notch it right there, it'll be thinner. There she goes. Perfecto. That one kind of hinged a little bit, but it did thin it down a lot. Thin one down from the other side. There she goes. The texture of this one came out a little bit rougher than I expected. I thought it was going to be the real glossy, more like obsidian, where the flake scars were a little more defined. It's a little bit rougher than I thought, but man, that is beautiful. I almost think I should try to thin this just a tiny bit, because man, those notches is the hard part. Son of a bitch, but that's okay. So I'm gonna corner notch it anyway, but man. Now I got a square edge there. Might as well knock this corner off. Now I'm not going to go for super deep notches on this one. I just want some decent little notches. I don't want to break this. I will definitely want to keep this stone. It is beautiful. So fingers crossed. This is my worst part. I don't like notching very much, but guess let's work on the nasty side first with the flat edge. Just take your time, broski. Okay, I got the square edge off. I'm going to try to push really hard in the middle to keep it steady so I don't rock it and either break the tip or the other side off. That's what I'm talking about. She's coming along. there's a tiny crack in the base. I'll zoom in on it and see if you can see it. Right in the corner, there's a tiny little crack right there. So I'm a little concerned about that, but let's see what happens. Oh, that sound is scary. I deserve this point, man. I've broken so many trying to do these notches, and this is the good stone my buddy gave me. I really want this one to come out. I really do. Okay, this wing, that wing comes in at an angle there, so I'm going to match it anyway so it doesn't hopefully break. Okay, so now those match. I'm going to hollow the base a tiny bit. So nice. All I gotta do is get that wing in a tiny bit on this side and I'm golden, man. Fix the tip. I'm gonna wait on the tip. So close, man. Okay, I gotta be careful not to push on that other wing. I have another piece of leather or something to put underneath. Alright, I'm going to cheat for now and put a little bit of cardboard just under there just to give it a little bit of rigidity or whatever you call it. Okay, no guts, no glory. steady, it's going. I did lose a tiny bit of the ear, but I can fix that. Okay, keep it steady and push. Oh shit, I thought I broke it, but I didn't. Okay, do I get greedy and do the other side, or just call it a day? The one ear's a tiny bit bigger than the other one, but I'm not about to lose this point. This is too neat. There we go. It's no freaking glory, bro. Yes. Okay, I'm going to sharpen the edge real quick. But this is uneven right here, a tiny bit. Okay, let's get this tip right. I'm going to grind the ears to try to make it stronger, as strong as possible, so they don't break off. Even the corners a little bit. Woo, that is sick. I love it. That slips off compared to the antler. That's so weird. Get my other glasses. I gotta go get that LASIK surgery done because I can't see with my glasses. I can't see very good without them. This is a nail biter, guys. Sorry about that. But I hope it's fun to watch. Okay, so got the tip, and then there's just a little bit of overhang here. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's a birdie right there. That is sick. Thanks again, Colby. I super appreciate it, man. You gave me some awesome rocks. Thanks, guys.